My name is Adrian Nantchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. Now, how do you budget? How do you manage your money? A lot of people talk about, reduce your expenses, find cheaper alternatives, things like that. That stuff is nice, it's cute, far too long-winded. It's good for trimming the fat, so to speak, and finding inefficiencies and being more lean. Very good, but that's like a very inward kind of way of looking at it, like living with below your means. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's fine, but that's like an inward way, like a downward kind of way of approaching it. The opposite to that, the inverse, which is, well, upwards way, would be don't live within your means, expand your means. Find ways to increase your income as opposed to just living within the static fixed income. Find ways to increase your income. Invest it. Start a little small business. Write a book. Invest in property. Invest in stocks and shares. Do stuff. Invest and grow your income. Don't be I have got a book here. Here we are. Recession 2008. A guide. Your personal finance survival guide. It's what? 100 pages, 120 pages long, 100 pages long. Came out just after the 2008 crash. Someone obviously wanted to pocket and cash in on the crash. Make a quick buck, flog it. Very cool. And interesting little concept. And that's one way of looking at it. But the other way is to expand your income. You have got your 9 to 5. Okay, that's fine. That's your livelihood. Your 9 till 9 or your 6 till 9 p.m. or 6 till 10 p.m. That's when you get ahead. That's your time to buckle down and get that 1% ahead day by day. Every day, just 1% better, 1% better. And over the course of the year, it compounds, and you're completely different. You're a completely different strategy, different person, different priorities. But expand your means. Don't live below them. Look at your capital, look at your money, and find ways to be more savvy with it. Invest it. Use it to put it to good use. Inflation, at the very least, gold and silver are a good hedge against inflation. But also at the same time, look at ways of expanding it, being more resourceful. That's what I wanted to say. Be more resourceful. Learn more things. I've got a book here on capitalism that I want to read, and a few of the books on the markets and how it all works. So I'm going to take all this stuff in and learn and grow and compound, so I can then look at the situation around me and think, if I do this, if I do that, I can be more resourceful. I can create this or create that. Done. Doing, creating, and being more elaborate, being more thorough with it. Don't necessarily live below your means, but expand your means. There's opportunity out there beyond belief. For example, how many houses are there in Britain? If you owned, say, 10 houses in Britain, for example, and each one was paying you, let's say, net £200 a month. Yeah, net. That's a nice tidy sum, isn't it? Just from houses, and your workload is reduced to significantly less because you have to manage them rather than working for your boss, for example. Much more resourceful. Or at the very least, look at crowdfunding. And there's all these crowdfunding online. Funding Circle, for example, and there's loads of others out there. It's not affiliated, but these places invest the money. You get 5%, 10%, 4%, whatever return per year or per what. Better than nothing. And alternatively, stocks. If you take your cash from your job and invest that into stocks or into crowdfunding or saving it for a rental property, forget forget mortgages. You want buy-to-lets. Houses are an interesting little thing, that's for another time. You want buy-to-lets. You want assets that puts money into your pocket. Therefore, you're expanding your means and expanding your livelihood. And if you're making this much money and you're spending that much, yeah, you could be more efficient and trim the fat to spend that much. But who cares if you're spending all this? I mean, of course, don't waste money for the sake of wasting money or spend for the sake of spending. That's a different thing. That's just a little bit crazy and wacko. But if you're making this much and you're spending that much, just buy more stuff if you want. But if you're making this and you're spending that, then the solution isn't to reduce this. It's to increase this. It's two different sides of the scale. Do you want to decrease your spending, or increase your income. Well, I think increase your income sounds a bit more nicer, so that's how you budget. Increase your income. Increase your human capital, your knowledge, your abilities, your talent, your skills. Find ways to monetize it. There's money in everything. I'm telling you, every fucking thing. Fertilizer, windows, glass, ball bearings, potatoes, these little pins. This, I'm not quite sure what this is called exactly, but this little pin. There's money to be made in that. If you go into the Forbes 400, which is the richest 400 people in the world, you'll notice that there's one guy there who made their billions through selling beer. I think it's Heineken. I think it is. Yeah. And there's one guy that's made it for cheese. Another one that's made it for pizza. Another character called Gabe Newell who made it for video games, which I didn't know he was a billionaire until like a year ago, or a year and a half ago, which is very surprising because I've known that guy, like, I've known about him for years. And it's like, oh yeah, billionaire. Didn't know that. He's selling video games. It seems to be, as a quick side note before we end this video, it seems to be that riches can either be made through solving a fundamental problem for the world, like in business or what you're investing in the company, that solves a problem that the country cannot function without it, or you manage to find a way to have your product everywhere in the world and it sells for a profit margin of 10 pence. So if you've got like Coca-Cola, cans of Coca-Cola everywhere in the world, and each one's giving you a 10 pence, not 10%, but 10 pence profit margin on every can sold, like net, for example, then you're talking like 1 million cans sold every minute, or 2 million sold every minute. What's 1 million or 2 million times 10 pence? It's a lot of zeros. So those are two ways around it, but I'm diverging anyway. So the question of the day to you is, how are you expanding your means? How are you expanding your livelihood? I'm investing my money in stocks and shares to get dividends from different companies in the States, what's called REITs, real estate investment trusts, among a few other things like industrial and all the rest, and transportation. But that's how I'm doing it, as well as a few other things, but that's the main way. That's the main way. But how are you expanding your means? That's more important. How are you doing it? Comment below and let's talk. Let's talk. But also remember that this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. How cool is that?